Mr. Billy Fury. And tonight, Billy makes one of his rare appearances at the Sunnyside Fiesta in Northampton. And you know, when they write the history of pop music in the 60s, there's no doubt that Billy Fury will have a chapter all to himself. At the height of his career, he had 26 hits in just 7 years. Songs like Halfway to Paradise, I Will, Jealousy, Last Night Was Made for Love, and Like I've Never Been Gone. Well, he nearly did disappear for good when he was very ill and underwent heart surgery. So my first question when I met him earlier on this week was, how was he keeping?
I'm not too bad, Gerald, and for anyone who's interested out there, I'm a healthy wreck, but as long as I can carry on working and moving about and making music, I'm very, very happy indeed.
Now, on the music scene, the current single, Devil or Angel, is doing very well indeed, but it's something like 16 years since you were last in the charts. What are you coming back for?
Well, I'm coming back because I did quit out and sort of retired to a farm in Wales where I was running a flock of 300 sheep, and I breed horses, and I very much love wildlife, and I take care of injured wild creatures, mostly birds and occasional badgers, foxes, stoats, weasels. And a friend of mine who I've known for over 20 years asked me if I would make a record called Be Mine Tonight, and he was asking me for about 6 years, and I was saying no, no, no. And then finally he actually went in, laid down the track, minus a vocal, and telephoned me again and said, would I kindly put the vocal on? Well, it turned out he'd spent about $6,000 on this track, so I really couldn't refuse. Next minute I'd signed a recording contract with Polydor, and I was making music again. And also, whilst I was sort of retired, I was doing a hell of a lot of songwriting. So I've written about 400 or 500 songs, which I have on the shelf. And my idea now is a few people have sent me in tapes of their voices. And even when I'm talking to you now, if there's anybody out there who fancies being a singer and thinks they can sing a little bit, please send us a tape, even care of you, Gerald. And I've been sorting out the voices on the tapes to go with the songs that I've written, and I'm on my 4th single. This is me producing myself, apart from Polydor, Devil or Angel, Love or Money. And I'm enjoying all sides of the music.
Seems crazy because they are in this idyllic setting, looking after wildlife, which most people would thoroughly enjoy, and yet you're back into this crazy music business.
Well, when I came back, I thought I would really pace myself so I wouldn't get worn out, and it has worked out quite well, really. But I will be in the studio with Stuart Coleman because we're doing an album now for Polydor.
And that's interesting because Stuart Coleman has associations with Northamptonshire. He produces, of course, the Jets, who are all local lads too. Yeah, what sort of relationship do you have there? I mean, he seems to do very well in the rock and roll, rockabilly, 60s type nostalgia area.
You're right when you say rockabilly times. They were the times when I started, and I loved them very much, and I still do. Also, I think the Jets are great, and Stuart's a great producer. One of my ambitions is to one day, I very doubt it very much whether it'll come up, but to be a producer almost as good as Stuart Coleman. I thought the Jets' new one I heard only a couple of weeks ago, and it sounds absolutely terrific.
Yeah, certainly a good band. You, yet again, you're in the road. It's been the 3rd time that you've been in Northampton in recent months anyway. Do you like Northampton?
Sure, Northampton's a very, very nice county. There's still some beautiful countryside. I don't know what the employment scene is here. And also, it's so nice and handy, just up the motorway, and here we are in Northampton.
We could talk, Billy, as I suppose most people in the interview you do, about those crazy 60s days, the early 60s, which you were very much a big part of. But is there a place, do you think, for Billy Fury in the 1980s with your music?
I would rather hope so. I would think that if it's not with me singing and doing gigs myself, I really don't mind. But the reason I'm doing gigs is because Polydor want me to go out and promote. Like they want me to do radio, TV, and they want me to do some shows where people can come along and actually see that I'm still alive. But it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm more interested in the music side of it, and I'm more interested in making records with other singers, new singers, and producing the kind of music that I like, and really just being creative.
It sort of begs the question, really. What do you think about the people who are in the charts above you at the moment in the charts?
I think that the charts are very, very varied, and I think there's really plenty of room for even people like me. If you think of, take the top 10, well, it might be all what they call a bit bubblegum, but I really appreciate what's being done, and the catchiness of the tunes and the harmonies, and I also like the techno pop. Not all of it, but very, very nearly most of it. All the attractive stuff I love. Anything ugly, of course, I don't like. I'm just like everybody else, but all the attractive music I adore. And of course, there's people like Barry Manilow, who are not really into rock and roll, but there seems to be a place for everybody.
Great, Billy Fury, many thanks indeed.
All the best, thanks. Ciao.